All right, now we've entered the vehicle, entered the RV. Nice little space here. Fire extinguisher. Storage, this is where I keep the instruction manuals, the gloves, the actual brake controller. We're going to need that here in a moment. There's an adapter here, so if you do need to go to 12 volt, you have the ability to convert. Got some other goodies in there. This is for the plumbing. You'll want to generally put one of these into the toilet when you get to your site. That way it helps break down the sewage. The instructions in here, in case the video isn't as explanatory as something you need questions about, there's the directions in there. Another closet with a couple hangers, obviously a broom, so you can kind of keep all the dirt and dust out. And then we've got a spare jack. Now that's something that you would actually use if you needed to work on the tire. That's an actual jack that can support the whole thing versus just the stabilizers. See, the vehicle is also equipped with a smoke detector, push button lights, some switches over here for interior lighting. Turns all the lights on. Well, if they're all clicked on. There's that. This blue light is for the exterior LED light. Right there. And you can see the radio as well. So it's outdoor speakers. And there's indoor speakers. We've got the heater. This is going to be electric. You just gently crank that on and your heat will start coming out there. For the cooler temperatures, we have the AC up here. You're only going to want to use this, obviously, if you're plugged in. So you need to be plugged into the site. Otherwise, you can't run this without being plugged in. There is a solar panel connection outside, but I do not have solar panels. So if you have solar panels, you want to use that outlet outside, you're more than welcome. But I don't think it'll work on the AC unit. So if you go off grid, that might take a little more power than what you have. Storage containers here for shoes and or soap, whichever. Bathroom. Pretty self-explanatory. Very important with these hatches, you don't want to leave those open because if it rains, you're going to flood the compartment. We don't want to do that. So this vent is good for getting the steam out if you need to, but make sure you shut it. Toilet has a step flush. Step on that and it flushes pretty well. And again, the lights all work that way. Standard microwave. Works really well. Again, you'll want to have be plugged in or be using a generator of some sort. You can see here we have water levels. So you'll get to go gray, black, fresh, or battery. You can simply just press the fresh button and you can see that it's empty. So the fresh water is empty. Black water is empty, which is your toilet water. And then you have gray water, which is your shower water, sink water. You can see that empty, 1/3, 2/3, and full. So again, if you're sitting around, you're wondering, hey, when's the last time we emptied the sewage? You can check right there. To use the hot water is going to be gas. So you'll need to go outside and turn the propane on just a little bit. And you'll come over here and click on heater. And I generally will push this blue button as well. And you should hear underneath the bed, the pilot light up. You should hear that and give it about 20 minutes and you'll have hot water. 15 to 20 minutes. It's only a 6-gallon hot water tank. So I find that that's usually pretty good for, 1 or 2 quick showers if you can get in and out in 2-3 minutes. So that works pretty well. This is a propane stovetop. You do need a pilot light. So I have provided that down in here. You'll simply turn the propane on a little bit and then light it. It does not have an igniter. I have some basic utensils in here, some plastic, some lighter fluid if you decide to go camping with marshmallows, s'mores, things like that. There's a little baby bug zapper. You can plug that in to any outlet. Soaps, pans, toilet paper. We want to make sure that we're only using RV grade toilet paper. We don't want thick stuff that's going to clog the pipes. So it has to be the ability to break down really easily in the piping. Spare cups, all that good stuff. Very important when traveling, do not keep anything out. Do not keep anything loose. Do not keep anything setting outside on the countertops. It will 100% end up splattered all over the floor. Trust me, I've done it. So do not do that. The fridge, you keep anything in there, it will not stay cold. There is no generator. It's not running off the battery unless it's plugged in to your campsite. So if you're traveling and you want to keep something cold, unfortunately, this is not going to keep running for you. Best practice to travel with the blinds up. So if you are driving and traveling, only because these blinds, they're going to bounce all over the place. You can see this pole falls off. They're going to fall off every single time. This is the only one that is attached at the bottom. So that stays secure. But these other ones, they pop. These will come off, but the blinds will get all smashed up, so we don't want that. I like to keep this open for cross ventilation when I'm camped. Right there. That's your emergency exit as well. But I keep that open while I have the AC running, especially if I have my dog in the vehicle. Just in the event something happens, there's a way that she can either get out if she has to, and or there's ventilation. TV here. You always want to keep this strapped because that's obviously going to help prevent this arm from breaking as you're traveling, because this will slide in and out. It is set up for cable if you have a site that has cable and internet. Additional storage. Got some workout bands in there. Remotes in the top. This does have Bluetooth. You can play your music through here, through your phone. You can do interior and exterior music. You can do both at the same time. So be careful if you're at a campsite. You want to make sure that you're playing only in the inside at night versus the outside. I've made that mistake. I've played both in and out without knowing, and I woke up the neighbors. Here's the bed. This converts up to a dinette. As you can see here, the cushions move out of the way. They go to the side. The table lifts up. It's pretty self-explanatory. I like to keep the bed out. It's just easy. I don't really use the table. If I need to use this bench, I do. And I can eat my, here. I can eat at the picnic table, usually at the campsite. You can see we also have plugs for your phones to charge over there. This is connected to a pump already. I've got it plugged in. I personally like to keep this with just a little bit of air in it. Surprisingly, it actually provides me the most support, gives me a little cushion and comfort from the cushions, if you don't like that. Or you can blow it up all the way. Just know that it's going to lose its air each night, and you'll have to just pump it back up again. But again, really simple. Just by turning the knob when there's power to the trailer, and the plug is underneath the table. There's also a CO2 detector right there. Very, very careful that you are mindful of that when you go to turn the propane on and go turn the hot water on. Because if the pilot light does not light, then you have, the propane coming into the cabin, and the CO2 detector will go off. So we want to make sure that pilot light does ignite, and we want to make sure that we monitor it for a few minutes to make sure the water's starting to get warm at the sink. There is some additional storage underneath. I don't store a whole lot in here, but you can generally put the bed in there if you'd like, or some basic storage needs. I've also used this for my daughter. She's 11. She slept here. 2 adults fit there.